Think back to the last time you lost real money. Not a rough week, a number that dropped and stayed dropped. Now remember what you wanted in the hour after that. You didn't want to be careful. You wanted to be whole again. That word whole has quietly cost people more than greed ever has. So here are three things. What flips inside you the moment you go under. What it costs while that switch stays on. In the one sentence, the calm few write down long before they ever need it. In 1990, Richard Thaler and Eric Johnson put real money in front of people and watched what they chose. Not points on a page, cash on the table, theirs to lose. They were testing something that sounds obvious. A loss should make you cautious. It does not. After people had won, they took bigger swings with what they had just won. But after people had lost, one particular kind of option became especially attractive to them. Any option that offered a chance to break even, not the safest one, not the best one, the one that could carry them back to zero. And zero isn't safety. Zero is only the place you happen to walk in at. You have felt this and called it something else. You called it conviction. You called it doubling down, or being early, or knowing something the market didn't. What actually happened is smaller and stranger than any of those. A number moved, and your entire sense of risk moved with it. So what actually moved? Here's the mechanism, and it takes 10 seconds to see. Every decision you make about money gets measured against a starting point. The number you think of as normal, the number you began at. Above it, you're winning. Below it, you're losing. Your gut doesn't read balances. It reads distance from zero. And when you're below, everything reprices itself. A bet that looked reckless on Monday looks reasonable on Friday, because by Friday it isn't a bet anymore. It's a route home. That's the whole trick. You don't feel like you're taking a risk. You feel like you're taking a shortcut home. This is not a defect in you. It's old and it came standard. For almost all of human time, being below the line meant something physical. Less food, less shelter, less standing in the group, and the ones who clawed back fastest are the ones you're descended from. Your brain kept the setting. It simply can't tell the difference between a shortage and a screen. And your phone finishes the job. It shows you what you paid in red at any hour you ask. It gives you a live measurement of exactly how far you're from whole, and then, one thumb away, it gives you a button. Your grandparents' worst number sat in a drawer. Yours sits in your pocket, updating. And you know the shape of that hour, don't you? You close the app. 5 minutes later, you open it again. Nothing has changed. Nothing except one sentence running quietly underneath everything else. If it just gets back to what I paid, I am fine. That sentence is the one doing the damage. It isn't a forecast. It's a hope with a number attached, and you're about to fund it. Now watch it happen to a crowd. Between 1947 and 1953, psychologist named William McLaughlin recorded the betting at American racetracks, more than 9,000 races in total. He was not hunting for a scandal. He was studying whether people's choices stay stable. They do not. The last race of the day behaved differently from all the races before it. Horses with a high chance of winning and a small payoff became even less popular, and the money slid toward the long shots. Same crowd, same track, same afternoon. The only thing that had changed was that by then most of them were down, and the day was about to close. Look at what that means. Nobody walked into that grandstand planning to bet badly. They got careful bets wrong for 6 or 7 races, and then the exit door started closing, and careful stopped feeling safe. Careful now guaranteed they would go home short. That is you at the end of a bad quarter, not a gambler. A careful person running out of chances to be made whole, and it scales. In January 2008, Societe Generale told the world it had lost nearly 5 billion euros through the unauthorized positions of one trader, Jérôme Kerviel. The number is what people remember. The shape is what matters. Those positions were not one reckless swing. They grew as the losses grew until the bank uncovered exposure of some 50 billion euros, more than the entire capital of the bank itself. He entered false trades to hide them, and years later the highest court in France confirmed his conviction for forgery, breach of trust, and entering fraudulent data into the bank systems. And nothing in that shape is about getting rich. Getting rich does not need a hiding place. Only getting back does. None of that's exotic. It's your Friday night with more zeros and a longer place to hide. So what did the bank do that he couldn't? Starting on the 21st of January, across that day, and the 3 that followed, it sold the whole position down. It didn't wait for a better price. It didn't hunt for the trade that would make it whole. It accepted the number it actually had, and because it accepted the number it actually had, it survived it. That's the entire skill. Not courage, not nerve, just a willingness to let the account be true. Break even is not a goal. It is a memory. It is the last number you happen to be holding before things went badly, and it has no claim on anything that happens next. The past has a strange habit of pretending to be a destination. Your zero isn't a home, it's a coincidence of timing. The market doesn't know what you paid. The table doesn't know what you brought. Only you're still walking toward that number, and the walking is what costs you. People think discipline starts after a loss. It does not. It starts before the loss exists, in a quiet room, on an ordinary day, when writing the number down costs you nothing. So do this while nothing is bleeding. Write down today the largest amount you're allowed to risk in the week after a loss. Decide now in writing that you will never increase a position in order to win back what that position took. Put a gap between the loss and the next decision, an hour, a day, whatever survives contact with your worst mood. Tell one person the number so that changing it costs you something. Name the wish to break even out loud when it shows up, because it has never once been analysis. And when the urge arrives dressed up as a plan, ask it one question. Would I make this bet with money I had never lost? If the answer is no, you aren't investing. You're paying a second time for a memory. Think back to that lost money one last time. It's still gone. It went when it went, and every risk you have taken since to reverse it has been another payment on the same old bill. So the question you carry out of here is a small one. What number am I trying to get back to, and who exactly owes it to me? Nobody owes it. That's the freedom hiding inside it. Your money does not remember what you paid for it. Only you are still trying to get back to that number. That's what whole actually looks like. That's the richer self. Not the one who never loses, but the one whose next decision isn't for sale to the last one. There is one more cost after the money, and it is quieter. When people lose, they stop talking. Why losing makes people disappear, and why the ones who say it out loud recover faster, that is the next one. So before you go, write your number down, while you don't need it yet. And if this changed one decision you are going to make this year, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. The richer self, one honest question at a time.